Well, g'day, league fans. It's game day. Elimination final time. Here we are, the Joondalup Giants up against the Willagee Bears, the defending champions, the Giants. They haven't had the best of seasons, Dave McRae, but they're here. They've got a chip and a chair. They've got a prayer.
A chip and a chair. I like that, Donny Bell. Is it a prayer? Is it a series of prayers? We were just speaking off air about the ladder positions, which we'll have a look in a minute. But, you know, finishing in fourth in a five-team competition, 10 points behind, did you say? 10
points behind
Willagee. That's significant. Yes, they are the defending premiers. We have a look at last week's results there. So, and that for me, Don, because we were here, well, we weren't here, we were up, where were we last week? Kalamunda. That for me, that second line there, Joondalup and Ellenbrook, the two sides that have been fighting it off for the Premiership the last several years. And of course, that was the highlights we just saw in the rolling in. I thought there's a good talking point. But that shows the difference for mine, the gap between first place and where Joondalup is sitting. So, do they deserve their spot? I don't know.
We obviously didn't bring you the qualifying final, but the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs have booked their place in the grand final with a 14 points to 10. Very hard-fought win over the Fremantle Roosters. So, you know, the Rabbitohs, they have booked that spot in the grand final, but it wasn't easy. And it shows, you know, nothing between Fremantle and Willagee. I think the expectation is that those two teams will be playing next week in a preliminary final. But the Joondalup Giants, they're here to try and upset the apple cart.
Well, we saw the last few minutes of that, and Freo had their opportunity. They did something really weird in the last set on third tackle, just kicked it to nothing, which was quite odd. But kicking game was a bit awry as well from both sides. But 4 points between those two teams. And this, of course, as we see Joondalup come on, there's Willagee there. This, of course, is in Willagee. When they meet each other again, if they meet each other again, it's going to be on neutral territory. And you know that if you play up in Ellenbrook, you probably get a little bit of a boost as the home team. So 4 points. For me, the Premiership's still well and truly wide open.
Absolutely. I think that the top three teams, they absolutely deserve, whoever makes it to the grand final is a chance of winning it from these top three teams. I think Joondalup is the outlier in this final series of... you know, I think they've had three wins, 3 byes through the season. They've beat the Kalamunda Bulldogs 3 times. They haven't beaten any of the other teams that are in finals.
They haven't gone close.
Well, they have gone close, but I mean,
well,
like against
Willagee,
the Willagee Bears.
Yeah.
We talk about these two teams met 3 times throughout the year. In round 12, it was a 4-point win for Willagee, 16-12. In round 7, it was a 4-point win to Willagee, 14-10. So they've had a couple of very close games. And we're about to get underway to see if Joondalup can cause a big upset in a big moment. Elimination final. One of these teams, as Apollo Creed said, there is no tomorrow. Now it's the Giants. Comes out to Smiler. Smiler taking it through the middle. Put down just beyond the 40-metre line. Gilmore Spence shifts that one on.
15 release.
Looking for a quick play the ball. Grace Matthew in a dummy half. Gilmore Spence again, ball in 2 hands. Takes on the line, doesn't mind the contact. Has played plenty of footy in the forwards, although has moved in the halves in 2025. Is that one knocked backwards by Tara McNally? McNally throws that back infield. The Giants have got the ball and another set of 6. Well, a big opportunity.
good kick.
Well, very good kick. McNally with the mistake. Grace Matthew out of dummy half. Put down there by Young over the top. Hodgson down low. Now Wiley. Goes to Warren to Smiler. Smiler just tries to barge away over. Wants to find a front and get a quick play the ball. Grace Matthew to dummy half. Gilmore Spencer up on her very quickly right in the face. She can't get the ball to the outside. Still a quick play the ball. Goes to Warren. She's put that one through. It's picked up. Moeka reaches out and can't get it down. Put it down, but drops the ball.
Tell you what, good ball in. Well, first 2 minutes in, this is the start I wasn't expecting from Joondalup.
Well, as I say, the last couple of times these two teams have met, they actually have been pretty close, but haven't been able to get the result. Now Young, well, the first time we've seen the Bears with the ball in hand, they've named a very strong-looking team. And the Giants were too long in the tackle. When a bunch it was the slowest to get off.
That's where Joondalup's going to, they start on the back foot with, you've got a very youthful side, very quick side in the Bears. You cannot give them any more space in this game. They've got to be clean with their ball. They've got to be clean in the ruck. You cannot advance them up because they're going to punish you.
Now with Daniels. Play it back to the dangerous Ruby Hodgson. Gives that one underneath to Samoa. Samoa, always good post contact. Here's again once there. Hodgson out of dummy half, looking for a support runner. No one pushing up with her. So has to take it into contact herself. Smiler. Matthew with the tackle. Out of dummy half goes Kahu. Very much an instinctive player. Suamili sweeps around to the right. It goes to Suamili. Doesn't like the option she has to the outside, so again, takes it herself. Now Hodgson with the chest pass over the top. It bounces around. Picked up there by Mills. Mills comes back towards the middle of the park. Gives them some options on tackle 5. Kahu's pushing them out. Hodgson. She fires a pass out, and going through, they come across the cover defence from the Giants. They get there.
Held up on 6.
And held up on tackle 5. They'll hand it over. The Giants, well, they do just enough there in the end.
I think she made it easy for him. She had 2 on her right edge. She stuck inside a bit there and closed the gap on the defensive line. But I think she probably could have gone again, thrown it over to her right, and they had a huge overlap there. I thought they were in for all money.
7 now! Hold another side, good.
The Giants looking to keep their Premiership defence alive. They do so with their defence there. As now Carney gets the late offload. It's back to Warren. Warren chopped down low. Pass just in behind Wiley there, and then that meant the support runner overran her. Gilmore Spence, a pass that goes astray, intercepted by Mills. Well, there was just a fair bit in that set really from the Giants that was imprecise.
It's a very loose pass. It's almost like she didn't know what she held on the left, but went there anyway.
Let's see if they pay the ultimate price as Samoa gets the offload to Alex. Alex able to run a long way before she's ridden to the ground. Hodgson wants the ball. It comes out now to Young. Young will look to break through 1, 2, 3 tackles before she's eventually put down. Hodgson. Hodgson into dummy half, goes across and it's with McNally. McNally, one of the top try scorers in this competition, got 13 tries in 2025. Hodgson, the pass, comes out Suamili, wrapping around. Bit of a juggle. On tackle 5, and again, Suamili. This time goes out to Young.
Yeah,
Young will score.
You go. Told ya. Give her some space. She'll take a mile. Really Young. She looked from the first run, she looked like she was on. She wanted some space, and the moment she got some on that left edge, she goes over for the first pie.
Well, that pass from Zara Suamili as well. She looks like she's stepping up to the plate as well. I think that's something that Willagee have perhaps lacked in the last month or so. They haven't had Caitlin Burt-Pollio, who's been a key member in the 7 jersey, and they've been screaming out for one of their halves to step up. I mentioned Ahana Carr, who's more of that instinctive player that will take the line on and create opportunities with a running game. Suamili needs to be that player that steps up and be the ball player, and she's done that in the early stages of this game.
Well, and if that's a good time to find some form in that position as well into finals. Of course, you already mentioned they've got Freo. We saw these Freo and Willagee play off a couple of weeks ago for second spot, and
what a game that was.
That was a cracker of a game, but the scoreline wasn't huge. But I tell you what, Freo they had their measure considerably. There was a fair bit riding on that, and also a fair bit. I'm not going to say spite. It was a fair bit of energy in that we saw after the game. The Freo girls were very happy they came out on top.
There was, it might have been night time, but the birds were flying.
The birds were flying, yes. Yep, they were.
Failed conversion attempt, and it's 4 points to 0. Willagee leading Joondalup on the Vintage Road haulage scoreboard.
So those that are regular viewers of the Westpac Women's Premiership, you'll notice something a bit different today. So we've changed the field, and I actually think, Don, it's for the better. Willagee, not Willagee, Ellenbrook, a few years ago. Oh, silly. I was going to say, a few years ago had their lights upgraded, and the second field, for me, seems significantly better lit than the first.
Yeah, well, it may very well be better for the viewers. I don't know whether it's going to be better for the bar sales over the other side of the field. But it is a... Yeah, my son plays for the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs as Young breaks through. Another good run here. And played on a very damp field and with a lot of wet patches. So the second field... in slightly better condition.
Yeah, well, this has been a problem across the metro area, isn't it?
Well, the Bears, they are rolling through the middle right now. Tracy Daniels will play the ball back to Hodgson. She looks one way, goes the other. Comes back to Kelemete, has time on her hands, puts that down into space, bounces around. Amataiti is ruled in front of the kicker. And maybe that little pause there from Teilavi Kelemete, just causing a few players to overrun that one.
It's a horrible bounce for the defence anyway.
Well, I mean, no pressure on the kick at all. There was no line speed from Joondalup. They just sat back on their heels and waited to see what was going to happen.
Big weekend of footy. Looking forward to tomorrow's game. That should be an absolute cracker barrel, that one. Treeby.
I think there's two very good games on in the Fuel to Go and Play Premiership, the men's competition.
I think it is genuinely, I think it's the first time since I can remember that you could give any of those four the opportunity to hold the cup at the end of the
and you feel like they earned it. Yeah, you're right. It's been a very close. That's a juggle there from Veronica Alex. She had 3 goes at it and comes down with the intercept. Not conventional. And the Bears, another juggle there from Kahu. Kahu beats one, finding some space in behind, and the Giants, they're on the back foot right now. Kelemete goes to the line. Takes them on. Good contact down low from Matthew. Now Kahu started the Bears on this raid. Whaliwanga takes the tackle. Hodgson, she's pointing one way. You know she's going the other. Suamili on the bounce. It's picked up by Kanakosa.
What a grab.
On tackle 5. Suamili again, sweeping around to the left. She decides to go to the boot this time, chasing through. The ball's there. Young looking for a double. Touch judges happy. Referees happy. And Brianna Young's got 2. The Giants, well, they tried to defuse that situation. They prevented Taro McNally, but just knocked it straight into the path of Brianna Young.
Again, speed, finding herself in the right spot. I should set an invoice. I've been doing this quite a bit lately, calling players out and they're scoring tries. But for that opening set, which wasn't well handled off that kick down the other end, it's all been the Bears. Joondalup haven't got outside of this area.
Well, you felt like the Giants had the first chance of this game, and if they had been able to convert that into points, it might have given the Bears some cause for concern. But as soon as they've got their hands on the ball, they've looked very, very comfortable. Look like they're doing a lot of things well right now, although goal kicking, not one of them. That one comes up well short, 8-0 on the Vintage Road Haulage scoreboard.
They do look like a side, and I thought this all year, that are much more comfortable with ball in hand than defending. You've mentioned several times, especially that early part of the year, they're a side that would never go away.
Yeah.
Each one of those circumstances, though, I mean, they weren't defending; they were attacking. They were coming back. So if that's one of the weaknesses in their game, I think, is when they've got to defend. Again, a young side, very quick side. They seem more comfortable when they have ball in hand like they do now.
Well, I would say that they're a gritty team that stays in games. If I've got a criticism of the Willagee Bears, it's probably that, if anything, that lack of killer instinct. And I'm looking forward to tonight, hopefully seeing a little bit of that killer instinct where they can actually put Joondalup to sleep nice and early and go away and make a bit of a statement before they take on the Fremantle Roosters in a prelim next week.
Funny you mentioned that. I did get that sense. We're still going. I haven't heard the whistle. That sense from Freo when we saw that game against Willagee. They wanted to punish them. They wanted to punish them. They wanted to, it was. The scoreboard looked close, but reality was the Bears, even though they're on the back, they were within a touch, maybe two touches of the scoreboard. They were on the back foot for a significantly large portion, especially that second half. Yeah. The Freo wanted to punish them. They wanted to hurt them. They wanted to hit them. And that's, if they don't have that, they're going to come up against probably the team that is the best at it in Ellenbrook. And they like to punish. They like to kill.
Yeah, I was going to say, you want to see a team without any mercy whatsoever, than have a look at the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs. They will hurt you, and they will enjoy doing it. Yeah. And the Joondalup Giants, they now have an opportunity to get themselves right back in this contest. A hook pass there. Hakeem Olajuwon turns up here at Charlotte's Vineyard Pavilion, but without quite the accuracy of the dream.
Asking a lot, though. Just say he was asking a lot of that.
Well, they've had a couple of opportunities down that end, and once again just failing to build any real pressure there on the Bears. They withstood that pretty easily. Now Young steps back infield, looks for the contact, wants a quick play the ball, gets it. Hodgson will go on the back of that. Oh, Grace Matthew. What a great defender she is. Another quick play the ball, though. And Suamili gets on the back of that. And now it's McNally cruising in behind the ruck. They cut out Hodgson there to Kelemete. Put down there by Gilmore Spence. Hodgson to dummy half. Kahu's going to get the boot to ball. Again, it's going to be allowed to bounce. It sits up kindly, though, for the Giants into the arms of Solomon. That ball's come free.
That was already complete before she lost it, so we can't play advantage. You have a scrum, Bears.
So it's going to be a knock-on against the Giants, not a penalty against the Bears.
Trainer off, please.
So the ball coming free. Have a look and see if there is a little bit of help here from Brianna Young on the ground as she gets up. Just uses the elbow and pushes it out. Very professionally done from Brianna Young. It's Hodgson. They sweep around. Suamili. A set play. McNally. Plays it back. Hodgson looks to the short side. Dummy and go from Williams. Wasn't anything on, so takes the tackle. Kahu gets it on to Parker. Daniel Parker driven backwards by Spence and Smiler. Kelameti to Kahu, takes them on. Straight into the shoulder once again of Grace Matthew. Suamili goes out to Young, early ball for Brianna Young. Stands in the tackle, gets the pass back inside to Canacosa. She looks to do some dancing, steps off the right, beats the first. On tackle 5, the Giants, the defence holding up, and the knock on from Suamili. They'll hand it over, the Giants come up with the ball. So that was a good defensive set from Joondalup.
Yeah, defensively they looked okay. I mean, there's been 3 occasions almost where Willagee should have scored. I mean, that one on that far edge, which I mentioned, I thought they should have gone a bit wider. They did well to hold them up. They just got to use the ball better when they're in their own other end, which is what you've mentioned more than once.
Here goes one of my favourite players, and Michelle Grace Matthew. Started in at 9, looks like she's moved into a running forward role. She's been cracking bones defensively early in this game. Now with Warren, finds a bit of spacing behind the ruck. Maybe a couple of Bears players called offside there. Gilmore Spence. And just inside the Bears half, Canacosa knocks it backwards. She's cautious as she waits for the right bounce before picking it up.
Right side working.
The Bears quickly getting back on side, not showing any signs of fatigue so far in this game. And a good run from Mills.
Good seconds.
And Young look to keep the Bears going in the right direction. And a quick play of the ball and a penalty. Well, this one goes against Brianna Young.
So she's, and I've just motioned that in the box. She's shoved, as you'll see here in the replay. She's shoved the marker she's got up. So it's this one here. And then the shove. So, and look, she's played on it, but definitely a shove.
Well, they failed to find touch here. The Giants, McNally knocks it backwards.
Something down that end, Donnie. They're just...
Well, once again, the Giants given an opportunity, gifted an opportunity, really, there by the Bears. Ruby Hodgson goes on the merry-go-round for a ride. She plays the ball. Now with Daniels. 40 metres out from the Giants line. Young, she's been busy. She's almost broke through again. Grace Matthew slides across in cover. Suamili will get out of dummy half. She'll run right to the line before going out to Hodgson. Hodgson gets that pass out to Samoa. Samoa breaking through tackles. On 5, Hodgson. Again, points one way, goes the other, goes out of dummy half, gets the hands up and gets the ball to the line. Well, that is a classic Ruby Hodgson play. We've seen this several times throughout season 2025, where she just puts the ball up above her head, over the top of the defenders, and gets it down.
Yep, that's smart. That is smart. Again, that quick ball movement, spread across the ground. And some good time. Quick team, young team. Move the ball as quick as you can. Put the pressure on the Joondalup defence. Hit up right in the middle.
It's really quite unique.
It is very unique.
You don't I don't know any other player at any level that does that. Goes to the line, puts the ball Like you can't wrap up, like you,
No.
your instinct close to the line is I want to wrap up the ball, I want to
Yes.
stop the ball.
Yeah.
How do you wrap the ball up
Yeah.
if it's above the player's head? Obviously, you leave yourself a little bit vulnerable. Your ribs are exposed, but
You're only going to do that when you're right at the line. When you're 5 out and the defence is pressed against that line, it's a good. That's. Yeah, maybe we should send some of these clips to NRL 360 or over the black dot and see if some of the big leagues want to have a go at that.
Well, conversion attempt from right in front from Priscilla Samoa is knocked over, and it's 14 points to 0 on the Vintage Road haulage scoreboard as we have another look at the unique technique of Ruby Hodgson. Just puts the ball over the top of the defenders and has it free.
I think there's more to it as well, Don. Like she has to time that as well.
Yeah.
If you don't time it right, and it's perfectly timed because the defenders come in with their arms ready for that tackle. And that's when she raises it up. So the timing has to be perfect. And then that allows her, because then you kind of somewhat change the centre of gravity, allows her to then lean over.
Yeah, I must admit I do have some visions of the Mighty Ducks doing the flying V and how it works until it doesn't. But we'll see how long it takes before that doesn't work for Ruby Hodgson and she gets her ribs absolutely smashed in.
Yeah.
But for the time being, it's working fantastically, and it has done a number of times in 2025. The Bears, they are well and truly on top. 22 minutes into this game, or it's 23 and a half now. Up 14-0. They seem in control. And a penalty after points. And they're a big chance of basically putting this one to bed in the opening 30. If they can get another one here, you'd say the mountain is too steep for the Giants to climb. Suamili goes out to Kahu, again straightens the attack. Runs into Carney. Hodgson turns that underneath to Samoa. Mentioned the post-contact meters, but the minimal on that occasion as Gilmore Spence gets her to the ground quickly. Kelameti just straight and hard on 5. Kahu out the back. That's who it goes to. Goes to the line, kicking across, chasing through is Young.
Good
taken
take.
well by Lowndes, but claimed immediately by Young. Well, that was brave coming forward. She attacked the ball into the face of the oncoming defence.
Confident. You've got to have a lot of confidence to do that.
Well, we said that might be an opportunity for the Bears to just about put this one to bed. On the other side of the coin, the Giants score here before half-time, and I think they'd be ecstatic.
Trainers, give water or get off.
I like that.
Trainers, give water or get off.
I'm glad that there's a focus on the trainers, because that's been in the big news recently. Some shenanigans with trainers. Oh, that wasn't a great pass. Is that played
Let
out?
the Penrith Panthers trainers know.
Well, I think we all know what we're talking about there. But I would have kicked it right into his head. That's just me.
Well, there's been a few in the NRL that have gotten away.
No touch.
That one bounces away. From the Bears fullback.
Stand now.
Kate Williams back at fullback, so Gabby Canacosa not back in the number 1 position
Keep going.
at the minute. I don't know if she's having a rest or picked up a
Stand
knock.
now. Give the old ladies no short. Perfect. Second.
Now with Emily Mills back in behind the ruck, standing in the tackle, thinks about a flick out the back. Play the ball, only one marker. Chest pass from Hodgson.
Release
A good strong run from Amataiti. Now Hodgson picks up Tapuagia. Tapuagia breaks through the line.
5 and line.
Almost got to the fullback. Hodgson Out to Suamili. Suamili fires it out to McNally, who puts it down. And that goes touch in goal. It'll come out to the 20 for a 7-tackle set.
I'll tell you what, if she'd hit that, it would have been try time. She holds it here, holds it. Triple pump.
You're in the middle, please.
Just asked a little bit too much.
Well, the pass, the option was perfect. The execution, just marginally off.
And again, it just held that ball long enough to allow that space to happen.
Holding 0.
So the door's still slightly ajar.
Let her play it. Good first.
Smiler from dummy half. Goes to Gilmore Spence.
Standing now, 13.
She swung around onto her own 40-metre line.
Thank you. Second.
Dummy's one way, gets out of dummy half now. Lowndes. Picked off by Hodgson. Now Gilmore Spence. Couple of tip-on plays, ends up with Wiley. Not much doing there.
Hold.
Grace Matthew to dummy half. Again, it comes out, and it's with Harrison. Plays it back to Solomon. Solomon fires one. Gilmore Spence putting a kick into space. It sits up. It's attacked and taken nicely by Mills.
Standing now, ladies.
Getting towards the back end of this half, and the Bears looking to keep 0 on the scoreboard against them.
Stand there. 7, hold with me. Hold. Good. Second.
Now Hodgson goes to McNally.
7 up.
McNally, good charge.
Hold. Good.
There's an error there. It looked like it was an error for McNally, and then she just managed to hold on to it, and then after the play the ball, it was a knock-on from Ruby Hodgson. It was all a bit messy.
They were still going at it at a mile a minute. They didn't need to. They just needed to complete that set and wind the clock out. Now they've got 60 seconds.
Oh. Well, that was all messy from McNally. I think she dropped it in the ruck before the play the ball. So they've ended up with the right result. But yeah, it was trying to do everything too quickly. Just get to your kick, put it down the other end,
and then go to
half-time up 14-0. Instead, they'll be defending their line for this last 30 seconds or so. And they'll give the Giants a chance. Grace Matthew with a bit of a right foot step, stands up Emma Taiti. Now Gilmore Spence. Goes out to Lowndes. Lowndes chopped down by Hodgson. Good tackle. Grace Matthew now to dummy half. Gilmore Spence going across. Fires one. Veronica Alex. An intercept from Alex. She's grabbed from behind pretty quickly.
That was telegraphed.
Well, she was standing in the defensive line. She basically called for it. Now Emma Taiti. She steps off the left. She got stood up with a side step there a moment ago. She stands one up herself, but amounts to nothing as at half-time. Siren sounds, and here at Charlotte's Vineyard Sports Pavilion, it is the Willagee Bears looking to keep their season alive, leading 14 points to 0 over the defending champions, the Joondalup Giants, at half-time.
Well, both sides had their opportunity. I think if you're the Bears, you mentioned before they need that killer instinct. They had a significant portion of the play. That was all Bears. They probably left a few points on the grass heading into half-time, Donny.
I think they have, but I think you'd rather be the Bears right now than the Giants, I think. We've got a big second half coming up. The Joondalup Giants looking to do everything they can to keep their Premiership defence alive. But the Bears on top at half-time, 14 points to 0. We'll take a break, be back with the second half shortly. Well, g'day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Charlotte's Vineyard Sports Pavilion for the second half. The elimination final between the Willagee Bears and the Joondalup Giants. We've already seen earlier tonight the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs have booked their place in the grand final. They played in every single grand final of the Westpac Women's Premiership. They're into another one. They've lost the last two.
We're just speaking about legacies. How's that for a legacy? Somebody find somebody out there on the ether watching it online. See if you can, anywhere in the country, a team that's done that for the inception of the competition.
Well, they've lost the last two to this team, the Joondalup Giants, but the Giants, well, their premiership defence hangs right on the edge at the moment. It's the Willagee Bears looking to eliminate them, leading 14 points to 0 at the break. They're looking to set up a game against the Fremantle Roosters, although the Bears come up with a mistake in their first set of the second half. The Giants, they have had their chances in the first half, haven't been able to convert them. They get another chance here. Let's see what they can do with it. Lowndes from the scrum wing just takes them on. Not looking to ball play at all. Gilmore Spence might look to ball play a little bit. They go out wide, going across field goes Bunce. Proves to be easy meat. Put down in that tackle. Now with Warren. Runs into Hodgson and Samoa.
Holding marker.
A little bit of a push from the marker as Gilmore Spence goes to Moika. Veronica Alex with the good tackle. Bit of a settler there from Bunce.
Need to go into the middle.
Now they get to tackle 5. Gilmore Spence waiting for the ball. She rolls it in behind, sits up nicely right in the arms of Kanakoshi. She's not going to get back into the field of play. For the Giants, well, while not the most enterprising of sets, they do build some pressure
they get a
with
goal
a repeat set.
Yeah, but I mean that second last tackle, it was a nothing tackle. I get a settler, but you've got to settle in the middle of the park. Give yourself some more options.
They don't look confident enough to actually use the ball. They're just hoping for a little bit of individual brilliance, and here is a player that could have some individual brilliance in Sinead Lowndes. 6 tries in 2025 from Lowndes. Surprisingly, the leading try scorer for fullbacks this season.
Oh, really?
With 6. I would have thought there might have been a few more from the custodians.
We do have some good fullbacks in this comp.
Grace Matthew powers towards the line, isn't too far from it.
Just play it. No Marcus.
Pass. Gilmore Spence, I think he's missed that completely. That was an air swing.
Sorry, I shouldn't. I think she's put it down to kick it, and then oh no, she's looked at it. That was a bit bizarre.
Please have the ball, just play. Will be after we check the injury.
So no scrum, it's going to be a handover.
But there you go, she's coming on. I did notice that she
After
came
that
up
run
proppy,
from the field goal, the drop out.
It's definitely
return.
an ankle. It's definitely an ankle. I thought maybe she just needs a bit of a stretch, but they're bringing her off.
Well, that's a big blow for the Giants. I would think if there's one player that could get them back into this game, a player that could just explode and do something remarkable, Sinead Lowndes is probably at the top of that list for the Giants. I look through their lineup and I'm trying to find somebody else that could potentially do it. Namata Mawika might be the only one that comes to mind. As we see another fantastic run from Brianna Young, I think she was the best player on the field in the opening 30. Zara Suamili probably not too far behind her. Has the next carry. Amataiti up towards halfway. The Giants stop her in her tracks. Hodgson out of dummy half. Looking to put her stamp on it. The pass goes back to Kahu. Kahu. The Giants ripping at the ball. Can't get it free from the grasp. Kalamate. Look to the outside. Decides to step inside.
Don't get involved.
They get to their kick. Putting it down into a corner. Taken well and handed off by Tegan Munro. Now Moika, who I think has moved back into the fullback role with the loss of Lowndes. He probably looks their next most dangerous player. Although I don't think that the back half of her season has been the best of her career. Sloppy play the ball from Smiler. It comes to Warren. Perhaps lucky to get away with that play the ball, I think, there, the Giants. Gilmore Spence. Hands it off to Bunce. Chop down low. And the Giants get to their kick and it's put down.
I was just about to say nothing, not much of a set there, not much of a kick, and they do them a favour.
Well, it felt like both teams getting through their sets, getting to their kicks, just going through the motions and just waiting for an error.
And there it comes.
The Bears that blink first. The question remains, can the Giants find points? They have not really.
I don't think they've started a set from this spot though, have they? Not this deep.
They've been down this end. They had a repeat set from the goal line dropout.
Because they did too, yeah.
They have had their chances, but Gilmore Spence then taking it to the line, got it on the front foot. Didn't have any runners, just takes it herself. Warren limping a little bit now for the Giants, trying to stay in the action. She's desperate to stay out there as they go from dummy half. Solomon. Gilmore Spence goes to Warren. She looks like she's recovered, kicks one across field. McNally, she's got it covered, gets back into the field of play, beats one. And, well,
great work.
I mean, another unimaginative
No, and I don't know what
Giants.
she was doing. It was very... Yeah, there was no depth to that line. I don't know why she went that far. I mean, it's hard to run onto the ball at that angle as well. So the angle was really acute, so the kick has to be pinpoint, and then as a runner, imagine you have to time that exceptionally well.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things lacking from the attack of the Giants as that kick. Not much of a kick from the Bears either, just dribbles into touch and gives Joondalup pretty decent field position once again to start from.
Good Aunties is the Go Aunties? Go Aunties. Yes, not Good Aunties. Go Aunties. There you go. Been called out. Goo Aunties. Enjoying the ice cream truck on a pretty
1990s Nickelodeon goo. Lovely to see some banners and some support down on the sidelines. Harrison, the pass goes out the back, knocked backwards, says the referee. I think the Giants lucky to get that call.
He was immediately on that too, wasn't he? Didn't need any assistance.
Carney draws in a few defenders on 5. Gilmore Spence puts a kick.
That's a better kick. There's no chase though.
Bouncing off the post. Kanakosa goes into her own in goal to clean it up. A good chase from the Giants, and they get themselves a repeat set.
I tell you what, Donny, that's lucky because that chase was lacklustre. That's the best thing I can say about that. That was a horrible chase. I don't know if we'll see it again. But the kick was really well placed. And then just a lethargic chase there. If she hadn't have fumbled that, it would have been well gone.
From the goal line drop out, the Giants have been down this end of the field for some time. I've got to say they have not offered anything, they have not looked likely, and they come up with an error there to continue that pattern. I don't know how they can possibly come up with 14 points. I don't know. They don't look like coming up with 1 point at the moment, the Giants.
Well, we've gone almost 10, and most of it's been in that half. So they've had plenty of opportunity, plenty of ball.
Well, but criticism of the Bears in terms of their killer instinct, I mean, that's still in play as well. It hasn't been a great start to the half from them. The Giants, they've just failed to punish them as Suamili holds it up. Well, if she had got that pass onto the chest of Brianna Young, she was pouring into the hole. Young gets it on the next play and breaks through a tackle. Tackle down low. They just hold on. The kick from dummy half. Well, no one was up flat enough, and Mata Moika has had a 2 minutes to forget. The head has rocked back. The body language is less than ideal.
Well, to speak of body language, Don, it's not just her, it's a few of them. It's a few of them. I don't know, 10, less than 10 in, and yet they're already walking around like that. I mean, it's just, I'll refer back to that chase before.
But again, a player makes a mistake like that, and she's isolated. Yeah. Not a single player came over and tried to get around her and tried to lift her spirits. It is, I don't know, they look a beaten team to me, the Giants. The Bears, they have an opportunity to book themselves a spot in the prelim. They put down just a couple of metres short of the line. Hodgson at dummy half. She's got one. Goes out to Kahu. Kahu goes wider, and Veronica Alex towards the line has knocked it on.
She knocked it on, yep. Just lost it.
Well, she looked certain to score. I didn't see who it was that made the tackle. Was it Mata Moika? I think it's Mata Moika. Yeah. Comes across here, gets the legs underneath the tackle,
really well done.
And forces the error.
Really well done.
She's come up with 2 knock-ons in the last few minutes, Martha, and there comes up with the defensive play of the game and keep her side alive.
Listening to your call, Don. Pulled her socks up. That's great. Fantastic play. That was the game there.
Grace Matthews, she comes out of that one a little proppy as well. Cheyenne Carney gets a late offload. Now with Solomon. She's able to run a long way before she's put down. Gilmore Spence to dummy half. Goes to Warren. Warren goes to the line. Had Bunce outside but couldn't get it to her. We'll play the ball back to Bunce now. Gilmore Spence in the middle of the park. Goes out and it's with Lowndes. She's back.
Oh!
And Canacosa, the 2 ones, come together. Heavy contact. Off the legs of Kelemete from the Gilmore Spence kick. She dives on the ball and the Bears come up with it. Well, that was probably one of the best sets we've seen from the Giants, and it started from nowhere near the position they wanted to.
As Young goes for another run.
She's been sensational. Suamili on the back of that out of dummy half. Also picks up good metres. Smiler turtles around on top of Zara. And Mills rips her teeth. Tries to grind through that tackle. Now McNally, the wingers, the outside backs. They've been important in this set. Comes back to Kahu for the kick.
They've gone there again.
Well,
just did better that time.
yeah, takes the catch and some nice footwork. Beats the first chaser. The Giants, they need to score at least 3 times. And you've got to say, the time is starting to get away from them here as well. Lowndes, out of dummy half, runs into Williams. Now Warren. Dummies to the first, driven backwards by Hodgson. Now Smiler. Holds it up, gets it to the outside, a pass around the corner. Step back infield, but the Bears are everywhere. Guerrero's put down. Gilmore Spence. Well, that kick over the head of Canacosa, who thought the winger was coming around to claim it. McNally eventually does come around to get it. Staggered chasing line. Good contact from Warren on McNally. Quick play the ball, though. Daniels. Normally your dummy half just takes a little bit of a run. Now Williams. Good first contact from the Giants. Now Young, she gets a little bit of a hair pull there. The ball comes free, and they'll come back to the penalty for the hair pull. And the referee perfectly mimes because he's got the same do.
Yeah, big play. She kept going though.
That kick, it hasn't gone out yet.
It still hasn't got, finally it does.
Well, I don't know what the Giants were doing. They were, I was watching Liam Noonan on the sideline waiting for the flag to go up, and it never did. Ends up a fantastic touch finder as Daniels from the tap restart. Hodgson to dummy half. Voliaki as the 2 front rowers set the platform. Now with Williams. Williams runs into Warren and the ball comes free. Well, they were setting up a nice platform there, the Bears, but the mistake from Williams.
So he said, I didn't hear, she's played at that.
No, she's just lost it there at the end, I think.
Yeah. There's a slap on the shoulders there. There's a bit of energy still in this Giant side somewhere.
Well, you've
got to open it up. Oh, no!
I was just about to say that those images suggest that the Giants still believe they're a chance. They might not be for much longer as Daniels tries to get over the line. I think, well, there were some calls of a high tackle. Doesn't go the Bears' way. Kahu steps, weaves. She's going towards the line. The Giants, they close the gap. Hodgson at dummy half. Suamili, they've got numbers out here. It goes to Canacosa. She goes back infield. The Giants, again, slide across well. They seem to have too many on the right. There's got to be some space to the left. They go that way. Amataiti draws in some more. Hodgson at dummy half. The pass to Suamili. Suamili Show, go towards the line, rolls over, gets it down, and the Bears are into a preliminary final.
It took 17 and a half minutes, Don. And I don't want to judge them on 17 minutes of the second half. But their first half was pretty good, and I was expecting them to come out and continue on from there. It's a bit indifferent for mine in the second.
I'd agree with that.
And if they're going to come up against the Roosters, who got within 4 points of Ellenbrook at home, they're going to need to put a 60-minute effort in.
Well, I think that's probably another factor. I think the Roosters are probably in the better form.
Yeah.
They look the better team. But watching the two games, Fremantle have been in a really physical, tough affair, trying to get into the grand final. This has been a little soft for Willagee, so I think they should be a little bit fresher. Their bodies should be able to recover a little bit quicker. Fremantle, they might be sore for a couple of days, so maybe that gives the Bears some chance next week in a preliminary final. And they're not far away. I mean, both those teams,
Absolutely
Fremantle
not.
and Willagee, 22 competition points.
Yeah.
They finished level, only points difference separated them at the end of the regular season.
It was only the last month of the season where Willagee started to drop off. I mean, it was after that loss here against, actually might have been more than a month, against Ellenbrook, and they had come out. And I remember that game. I don't think you called it. I remember my cohort, whether it was yourself or it might have been Sean. It was the closest. The call was it was the closest 14-point game we've ever seen, and it was. But they came out. Ellenbrook came out like Ellenbrook always does, with fire in their nostrils. They wanted to send a message. They'd been beaten. The only team that had beaten them was Willagee, and they were like, "You're on our park now, and we're going to send you home with bruises and bumps and headaches and scratches, and you're going to feel it for a week." That's how they play, especially towards the back end of the season. There's only been one team that's been able to beat them, and that's been the Bears. But they have to be able to play at that level if they're going to be able to do that against not just Ellenbrook but Freo as well, because we've seen they've played some tough, hard footy. They've just, as you mentioned, they've just played a tough, hard game against Ellenbrook. Sure, they're going to continue that. They're going to be bruised and battered, but they're going to continue that on. They're not going to turn their game down coming into a prelim.
I think both teams are going to know they're going to have to earn it next week in the preliminary final. The Willagee Bears and the Fremantle Roosters look highly likely to do battle, with the Bears leading 18 points to 0. Still 10 minutes remaining in this one, but you'd say this is beyond the Giants at this point.
It might be at this stage, 18 points on the board, 10 to go. Maybe you get a call out to the team and just calm it down, the girls. Calm it down. We're already in there. Make some rotations and just make sure you don't hurt yourselves.
Well, of course, that'd be the... I'm sure Prouty, that'd be in his mind. Players like Ruby Hodgson, Brianna Young, key players for them. You certainly don't want them picking up any sort of knocks here in this last 10 minutes or so. Could be a nervous time for a coach, knowing you've got a massive game to come. In 8 days' time, of course, playing
at the beach
on Saturdays.
Yep,
for the women's comp for the preliminary and grand final. No one underneath to smile. Well, can the Giants send their fans home with something to smile about? Can they get themselves on the scoreboard? Warren puts the kick in behind. They chase through, they get to the ball first. They come up with an error. Suamili comes up with an error as well. I think the first knock on against the Giants. That'll be the handover. Shout out to the referee, he's been fantastic as well. I can't say that I've disagreed with anything that he's come up with so far tonight.
We've spoken about a few times this year. There's a big cohort of young referees coming through the ranks. There's the old boy on the other side. We've mentioned him already a couple of times, Liam Noonan. I mean, him and the rest of the veteran refereeing panel have done a fantastic job bringing these youngsters up. We've got a penalty.
Well, again, I think there's been a big improvement in some of these young referees. I think that's been one of the best things to see is how much they've improved throughout the season. I felt like...
Oh, no. It took a while to put that up.
No, I think it was caught by the Giants and then they stepped
out of
touch.
touch. Yeah.
But I think the first couple of times I saw this young bloke referee that he was a little bit whistle happy.
Yeah,
he's probably put it away a little bit more as he's gone throughout the season. Allowed the game to flow, and I think he's had a really good game here tonight. Kahu wanted a runner, had no one.
Lost at sea.
There's a few of the Bears they're thinking about next week as well. Tapulagia, always hard to tackle. Skittles, 1, 2, 3. Can't quite get the strike. She sets herself up for the spare as Emma Taiti, allowed to run a long way, reaches out towards the line and puts the cherry on top.
I think Joondalup, like me, were expecting that pass to come to the right. I'm sure she was going to send it to the right. Although that wasn't great positioning there. Pretty bad positioning, actually.
Yeah,
had to tackle from behind.
On their heels after the Tapulagia run. Cat set the platform, and on the back of that, Chloe Amataiti, too big, too strong, carries a couple of Giants over the line. They're going to walk away with a pretty convincing win here in the end. 5 tries to 0.
Well, it does reflect probably it's more reflective of the game we've seen, isn't it?
Yes, I would say so.
Tell you what, I am liking this second field, Donny. It's significantly better lit. Don't want to put the mocker on the club, but might be requesting some field changes next year.
Build a second clubhouse on this side.
Just get an extended liquor license or something.
Another failed conversion attempt, so just 1 conversion from 5 attempts, but it is 22 points to 0 on the Vintage Road Haulage scoreboard. With a bit less than 5 minutes to go, because the clock on your screen might be 30 seconds behind the actual clock.
See, they might not be hitting the bar tonight, Donny, but I did see a big cohort of them hit the soft serve then.
The Shiraz soft serve?
I do have to ask a question. Does that mean it's frozen wine?
Well, I mean, if you've got I think if you've got wine there in Ellenbrook, it might be frozen.
I was also going to say,
why are you having soft serve?
Yes,
in this weather
like this. It's been freezing there.
The soft serve is the same temperature as my hand. The Bears turning that one underneath to Alex. Get hold of her and put her to the ground, just up around the halfway line. Hodgson at dummy half. Pass goes deep. Looking for a runner once again now. Hannah Kahu hasn't quite been able to break the game open. And Priscilla Samar also unable to break the game open there as she puts that one down. Cold as a spud. Or a Shiraz soft serve.
I'll have to Google that. I'm sure it's the name of the proprietor, but still, that's what I'd be asking. Does that mean
there is a street in Ellenbrook, the Vines type area that is Shiraz Street?
Well, it is.
So maybe they're based on Shiraz.
Charters Vineyard Sports Pavilion, isn't it? Those that don't know the area, there's vines. There's grapevines everywhere.
There is.
It's bizarre. is that like a signal to its former glory, or did they grow grapes? Was there a bit of viniculture happening up there before they put the housing estates in?
I mean, it's on the edge of the Swan Valley, so
100%, yeah.
I would say that it's pretty big in the area. Massive wine region, right on the edge, not on the fringes of Perth City. So if you're not from Western Australia, it's a great place to head up and have a look. If you don't have time to get down to Margaret River, it's the next best thing. Is Earl Warren gets it onto Gilmore Spence, who puts it straight onto the boot, bounces around dangerously. Knocked backwards there, according to the referee.
Fair enough.
Not the cleanest of plays from the Bears, but they come up with the ball. As we have a look on the replay, you make your own decision.
Okay, maybe she didn't touch it.
Well, I think if she did knock it backwards. I think the replay does Emily Mills a bit of justice. Although there wasn't a lot of confidence in the way she approached the ball. Plenty of confidence, though, from Ruby Hodgson as they go out now. Mills gets it on the outside to Alex with a bit of room to move. Lowndes, good tackle. One-on-one in broken field running. Hodgson across to Kahu. Dummies to the first runner, fires it out to Suamili. She's got runners on the outside. Williams with a bit of space in front of her. Gets the pass out to McNally. McNally puts the foot down, takes on Lowndes, and gets just short of the line, and the Rugby Union dump to Kate Williams without a hand on her. All fair. And the Bears, well, they score the try of the night in the final minute.
I'm surprised it's taken almost 60 minutes for that to happen, Don. They've got so much speed down those edges. They haven't moved the ball as much as I would like. I think I'd like to see a bit of that next week.
Well, we mentioned at one stage in the first half, Tara McNally, 13 tries she scored this season. One of the leading try scorers, if not the leading try scorer in the competition. Plenty of speed, took on Sinead Lowndes, a little ankle tap, but without a hand on her. Was entitled to throw the ball off the ground into the grasp of Kate Williams, who was there in support. She won't score any easier than that, Kate. As the siren sounds in the background.
Well, speaking of killer instinct, putting them to bed in the end.
We're going to be pretty happy with the donut against their name, as much as that they are going to be happy with 26 on the scoreboard, 6 tries to 0. I know we haven't spoken much about the goal kicking tonight, but 1 from 6. If you're in a close game with the Ellenbrook Rabbitohs and the likes of Kaylee Thompson, or 1 from 6 probably isn't going to cut it.
Admittedly, we didn't see any of the Ellenbrook tries, but I did notice, I mentioned off air, that
1 from 3 tonight.
1 from 3 tonight, and that's assuming that Kaylee Thompson took every kick.
I expect she would have if she wasn't in.
Yeah, so I'll just go double check that.
But in any case, the Bears.
Yeah, 1 from 3. She took all the kicks, so
they line up now against the Fremantle Roosters, and that's a clash to look forward to. I think they've had some good battles throughout season 2025. The Roosters have probably finished the season slightly the better, but the Bears, well, we've said it all year. They will not go away. They will play right to the final siren. They will be in that game up to their eyeballs with a minute to go, you can guarantee.
Well, halfway through that second stanza, I thought they'd put the cue in the rack, and they scored 2 tries. So if that's another indication, if maybe they found that early season form where they would play the full 60, because if anything of late, we've seen them play, their second halves have not been very good. So still a lot of work to do if they're going to, 1, win next week, and then 2, really take it to Ellenbrook. But if any team can do it, this team can. They've done it before. They've featured in some absolute cracking matches this year that we've broadcast, and at times they've looked unstoppable. So whatever that was, early in the season. Just find that, open that can again, bring it out, and we'll head into a second week of what will be a fantastic final series. Great football coming to you tomorrow. It's a pity the games aren't staggered.
Yes. Well, it would be fantastic if we could do both games. Both games kicking off at 3:30 p.m. We will bring you the Fremantle Roosters against the Willagee Bears. These two teams actually played against each other in the last round of the regular season. It was 36-34 to the Fremantle Roosters.
How good, if it happens again, how good will that be?
Let's give it something like that.
Just hell for leather. Forget about defence. Just go for it. That will be, if anything like that, it will be an absolutely cracker of a game.
And of course the qualifying final, which we won't be bringing to you, but we'll be keeping you updated. The South Perth Lions and the North Perth Seagulls with a winner through to the grand final. Again, they've been the two best teams all season.
Everywhere you look, there's great footy. Everywhere you look.
Mate, I cannot wait. Cannot wait for tomorrow. Cannot wait for next week when the Willagee Bears take on the Fremantle Roosters in the Westpac Women's Premiership for a place in the grand final. We have some fantastic finals, rugby league, coming to you from the West over the next few weeks. And until then, we'll see you tomorrow for the Fremantle Roosters up against the Willagee Bears in the men's competition if you were to go and play Premiership. And with those two teams up against each other a couple of games in a row. Look forward to it. We'll see you then.